I remember what the hell was that? It's like it was a four-way match. I think they marketed it as the first female main event in Sweden, which it of course wasn't, but at least because there has been an all-female show, there must have been an all-female.
I think
the solo darling, right? The one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you did some sort of like what was that, like a Tower of Doom, or what was it? A suplex outside the ring or something?
No, it was.
Yeah.
You tell the story. You were there.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, Aya took a suplex out of from the apron out of the ring, basically.
Wow,
onto me and Betty. Sorry, no, Betty wasn't there. Onto me and Sixth. So sorry.
Yeah. Betty was on the show, but she was in a different match, right? It was like a tag match. Because I remember there were five women on the card that night.
Yes.
I keep track of.
No, but then Solo was like the new one for that match for the Malmö crowd. So
yeah,
she's been wrestling for quite a while in Chikara. So
yeah, she has.
She's experienced.
Yeah.
Nice. So we've been talking about women's wrestling in Sweden, or like throwing things around. But actually, how is the women's wrestling in Sweden? Is it just in a stalemate? Is it growing? Are you feeling okay, or are you being stomped to the ground?
I think it's getting more and more attention, which is a good thing. I mean, we're still few of us. We don't have like the female roster we maybe would need to get like full shows or. So if I can get back to Yuri's question here, with what would be the next thing in female wrestling? It was Yuri, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I would say.
No. The FDR. Yeah. Sorry, FDR Nation was.
Yeah. I would like a belt and an opportunity to have pure women's shows and pure women's tournaments in the shows. I think women should be able to compete for any belt as well, because I think kind of like an open thing. But I mean, it would be interesting to see what you can do with that kind of scenario and different types of feuds maybe, and different kind of build for the shows. So now I'm hoping women's wrestling is going to grow in all Nordic, but especially in Sweden, of course, because.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy like
potential is an interest from the crowd as well? So
yeah, are you happy like how you guys are portrayed right now?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I get portrayed like the killer machine, basically.
I mean, you do.
I'm doing my martial arts
like
thing,
fucking Brock Lesnar there.
Yeah, and I get a lot of good bookings at the moment, so I'm definitely not going to complain, and I absolutely love to see what this road is going to take me.
Yeah.
Because there actually was a female or women's wrestling title in the Nordics, and it was called Nordics Women Championship.
Nordic Women's Wrestling Alliance's Championship.
Hello, Morkulian. And this is actually, I don't know if anyone knows about this, but we tried to bring that belt back. I think a few years.
Yeah, so it was never FCF Wrestling's championship.
No, it was never.
We never had any power with that championship. We never had any say in who's going to challenge for it,
But we were like, I think it's year or two ago, we tried to get contact with the belt owner to get the belt to FCF Wrestling, which would have been great.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit before the Valhalla Nordic the Frank Anderson.
It was before that, yeah.
Yeah, so we tried to get that, but it's now owned by some wrestler in
UK.
In UK.
It's like a UK championship now. Like I think I'm not sure what it is called. It might be called the Nordic Championship still. Be. But yeah, it's owned by someone in the UK, and it's only been changing hands within the UK, within the British wrestlers. So, I mean, we couldn't do it. But now I think we have moved away from the need to have a women's championship.
Yes.
Because at least in Finland we have made everything intergender. That's our goal.
Because that's and I'm kind of thinking as well, because that's the other way to go, which I also think maybe be preferable. But you should get a chance to compete for the belt, not just be on the card as the women's match.
Yes, exactly.
It should be the same kind of development for characters and the same kind of developments in the contest, basically, for like the universe you build in that promotion.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Either you make it a separate thing, which is fine. Some promotions prefer to do it that way, but you should have like the same type of traction. Basically, it should get the same amount of
treatment and
exactly.
respect. Yeah,
because
it's the same hard work going into anyone stepping into the ring. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we actually had how should I put it, fake equality when it came to the belts. Like everyone was saying that, oh yeah, anyone can win the FCF.
No, it was said no one has ever said that women can't.
Oh yeah, that's that way around.
Oh.
So, it was never specifically said that women could not win the championship, but they were just never put on the challenger list.
Yeah,
or
there was, I think.
Right.
I'm not sure if there was ever a women in a championship match for the FCF wrestling title.
Not before. Jessica was in with Johanna.
Oh yeah, so there's been like a one.
But that's a whole different story, because Jessica wasn't treated as a female wrestler.
Oh yeah, that was
then.
also.
So that was a whole different kind of fucked up. But yeah, so basically, like, I was the first female to challenge for the championship.
But the thing is with that, everyone was like, oh, we don't need, we should have a belt for the women, and then there was this other part where we were thinking that that's not the true equality we want. We want to make it that everyone can be FCF wrestling champion. Everyone can be our Sisu 8 tournament winners, and. And you can say that. Oh yeah, it's for everyone. But oh yeah, you need to. Oh, the women can also win, but you need to get better. You need to get as good as the guys, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's like the worst thing you can do.
And that was also bullshit, because we had better like female wrestlers than we had guys who were in the tournament.
Oh, and we had better female wrestlers than we had some FCF champions. And it was never about that, and that's when,
not to mention any names,
but then that's when we actually like noticed that it is like we need to change this, and we need to start to really do something about it. Not just wait that someone is like, oh, this that no one can deny that like Regina is the best wrestler in Finnish history, and then we might give her the belt.
Right, so, yeah. Like, I think the same kind of happened with Tessa Blanchard in many ways. Like, yes. She had to work like twice as much as the guy. She had to do so much more. She had to like be recognized, and then kind of like, oh, maybe we should give her the title. And then when she won the title, that was fucking amazing. But then people are like, okay, but then if a woman wins the belt, then she has to be like Tessa Blanchard, who has done more work than anyone in the wrestling business, basically. Which is like, why? We can have guys who barely train in Finland to win the Just kidding.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, not saying nobody's training. I have absolutely no idea. No point in... I should not be saying anything about that. But I mean, it is the thing, though. If it is equality, it should be all the way around. And I agree on that one.
Exactly.
Because you should get the same opportunities. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and also...
the goal here is to do the best entertainment you can for the audience. And there's absolutely nobody saying that you can't do that just as well as a woman and as a man. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with size, and it's nothing to do with, anything besides who's the best. I mean, who's the best wrestler for just that scenario in that moment.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Why do we only have one? I mean, we don't have that anymore, but like for so many years when I started, we only had the 1 6-minute spot for women. And it didn't matter how many women we had in the locker room or how good they were. That's the only thing they're gonna get. It's the second to last match, the 6-minute piss break.
Exactly.
So,
the woman's place on the card, basically, which is
exactly.
That's horrible,
but now,
though.
yeah.
Those days are past, I hope.
But the thing is that I think still we are actively doing things to make women equal in FCF, and it's a long road.
Exactly, and we can't just decide that from now on we are equal. If we have been holding back the women for so long, we can't just say, okay, now run free, you're equal, right? Because that's not equality. We need to push the women as long, just, until they get to the point where we actually are equal, and then we can start treating everyone as actually equal.
Thank you, Mike, for the host. And the thing with that is that
my rant. I need more beer.
What was I saying? I was so.
Sorry.
It's something to. Oh yeah, because even the intergender matches, you didn't see them in FCF.
No.
Actually, not even a few years ago. I think it's quite a new thing now, and there are wrestlers, and I think there are fans as well who think that it's like we talked earlier, that it's unreal. It's not realistic for women to win.
And what in wrestling is realistic?
Yeah,
actually.
that's not like but and also there are guys in the wrestling business that even in our roster that don't think the women are equal, and they don't wanna, or they would like to keep it separate, that they don't have to work with the ladies. And of course, for the same guys are the ones that are like, okay, well, I am better than all the women, so I should win the titles before. Do you see this kind of attitude in Sweden, or?
Not at all, actually. As far as that I've experienced myself, but I mean, I've basically been the only female from in the Stockholm promotion at the moment, which is actually from Stockholm, which means my training partners have been males all around, basically. Which is, I mean, I think that kind of gives people a different approach as well, because they don't try to group me with another female in trainings. There is none. I don't think they would, regardless. I think the wrestling scene in Sweden has come quite a long way when it comes to treating everybody the same way backstage, basically. Doesn't really matter. And doesn't really matter when you... I mean, it's still a thing on how you build the cards. And of course, I mean, traditions die hard, put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think the attitude is fairly good, actually. And that's also a thing, because if you look at wrestling, or if you look at any fight in the street as well, I mean, it's not always the guy you think is going to win that actually will win. And in wrestling is a place for people with different sizes and body shapes. And I mean, some of the best wrestlers are not that big. Some of them are. Doesn't mean they win every fight either. I mean, look at the classic wrestlers. I mean, a lot of them are smaller guys doing fucking amazing. Sorry for swearing.
It's okay.
doing amazing things for entertainment value and for actually getting over in that fight, and they win the crowd and then hopefully win the match, or maybe they don't that time, but they're still. It's not about who you think is going to win. And if you look at a street fight, it's I mean, most fights are over in a couple seconds, and a sucker punch works. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with even training background sometimes. So it's just stereotyping for stereotyping's sake, basically. And I mean, even if it is a controlled environment like a dojo or in martial arts scenes, I mean, experience beat a lot of power a lot of times, and speed, and just pure luck sometimes. So size isn't. I think it has more to do with the the way the person having a problem with it wants to perceive themselves than anything else. Because what's realistic or not is not always that clean cut. It's not black and white.
So you think that if someone like you or Sixth would win a championship in Sweden, that the guys around would be like okay, and they wouldn't be sour because now a woman is winning? Because I
don't think so, actually. There might be some. I don't think they would tell me for all these reasons.
Probably not.
No,
I mean, I've never heard anything said to my face.
Oh yeah, but that's of course great. That's of course like that's how it should be.
At least they know it's wrong when they're not saying it to our face.
That's a good point. No, but I think most people would actually think that was quite okay here. That might be correct, might not be, but that's my feeling about it, at least.
But like when you said that you basically always trained with guys, that's exactly like what I did. I was only training with guys. We had one girl with us for the first 3 months, and after that she wasn't training anymore, and then she quit. So I was the only female in the trainings until Remi and Mutsi came, right?
Yeah.
So.
And Jessica, of course, was there.
Yeah, but Jessica wasn't really training.
Yeah, she was sometimes on and off.
She was somewhere on the tour, I think.
With Lordy, yeah.
But yeah, like I was the only female, so I was training with the guys, but I was still treated as second class entertainer in the shows.
Yeah, no, I've never had that feeling from a training session either.
Like, yeah.
It's been as far as I've experienced, it's been very much quite the opposite sometimes. I mean, we need females. We need females with potential, basically. You can do a lot of stuff, and we're going to push you and train you as hard as we can and make this work. So
yeah, and
which I really appreciate. So.
Like, because I mean, the world is designed for men, and so is professional wrestlings and everything. Like within the construction of how things are done, is designed for men. And I'm not saying it's okay, but that's just how it has been, how it's been done. So I think we need to do things different so we can build the female community in wrestling, not just wrestlers but other performers and doing whatever merchandise or promotion stuff or booking, social media and booking
so
and
many
writing
different roles in wrestling and so much potential that is untapped, basically.
Exactly, but it's like it's not inviting. It hasn't been inviting for females. It hasn't been inviting for other races or like
minorities.
Either minorities, like sexual minorities, anything. So it's been very like white, straight, mostly male kind of a audience, and then that's. I could go on about this for 3 hours, so I'll stop somewhere here. But I think we need to work more. We need to find strategies to get more women. We have done that already in Finland, but I think we're still in like 1/4 of us are female.
How is it in Sweden? Are you doing something actively to try to get more women into wrestling scene?
Like from audience, you thinking, or into?
No, actually to make it to wrestle to be there, because there are female referees in Sweden, and
it has been quite a few attempts made actually, especially when Glow was at its peak popularity. Try to like ride that wave a bit and get more women into the business in this way. Did not pan out quite the way it was hoped to pan out, basically. But we got some people still in the backstage, basically working from that time. Mm-hmm. No wrestlers came out of it, unfortunately. At least not in Stockholm. Mm-hmm.
But I think the more you can like switch your product into something that like women want to see, then you're gonna get more women in the audience, and that way you can get more women joining. So
I totally agree. I think
Yeah.
you should look at the product and make it
that's the first step.
interesting for everyone, basically. And I think it kind of is, but I think it's I think you need to work more on the marketing part, and that part, maybe actually market it more so women understand that this is also for women, basically.
Yeah.
It's not just for beer drinking middle-aged men.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not. If you look at the audience, it definitely isn't. But I mean,
Yeah. Not
I think a
anymore.
lot of
Yeah.
people have that like perception in their mind that this is not
Oh,
something
yeah.
they're gonna like, and but I mean, it's so much about the stories. Even if you're not into the violence part of it, let's call it that, the actual ring action. There's so much stories, there's so much drama, and a lot of people just like it for that.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't matter what your take on this. You should give it a go and see, because it might be something in it you really like, and you can't get that combination of that kind of action, that kind of well, maybe a little bit corny, but still that kind of drama and that kind of interaction with the crowd, and it's such a great live product, and I don't know what else has that feeling in it.
Yeah, wrestling is unique. It's
really
there's nothing
is.
like it as a live performance or
Yes.
yeah.